Hello Internet, your friendly neighborhood gremlin here, and today we're going to give Pearl a little witchy cabin in the woods. And I mostly just picked Pearl because I thought she'd look cute in the outfit, but I was under the impression that the hat would go over her ears, because when they put those little beanies on they go over their ears, so why don't the witch hats? This seems unfair. But it's too late to turn back now, so here we are. And this build ended up taking absolutely forever. Like, when I had the footage cut down to the amount that I usually cut it down, it was still at like 10 minutes. So I've gone and cut some things that I didn't think were super important, mostly just me fiddling with wall stuff, and also placement on the floor, because sometimes it takes me a while to get things in the right spot, so I've just kind of cut that, but you see the beginning and the end each time, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not something I plan to do all the time. I just vastly overestimated my ability to do this in time. I'd finally been getting faster at the editing and voice recording stuff, so I was like, you're still falling asleep. Maybe you should sleep for another hour or so. So that screwed me over a little bit, but it's okay. We'll just fix the filming schedule. I'll try and film them at night again, which I should have been doing the whole time, but mostly I get this done, and then I've done my one thing for the day, and then my executive dysfunction makes me just not do anything else. So, it's a fun life, you know? But we are going to try and do this voiceover in as few takes as possible. So if there's like little tiny shuffling noises, I'm sorry, but we should talk about the build, because that's what we're here for. Sometimes I feel like I should not ramble at the beginning of these videos, because it probably turns people off. But hopefully they just sort of skip, I don't know. It's probably just a stupid idea. Maybe we can try and fix that. We'll work on it, I promise. I have not yet mastered that super cute witchy look. There are a plethora of images of people doing this successfully, and I don't know, they just managed to make it more cluttered than I do. I feel like mine just end up being not as cluttered, but maybe they're just using clever shots, or maybe they have magical secrets that we don't know about. Anyway, we're working on it. Eventually we'll get there, I hope. The back wall with the sort of jail bars in between the wall and the partitions was something I saw on Twitter. I will hopefully have linked that person down below, but I'm still bad at this, and I don't remember to write people's handles down. I'm not entirely sure this was the right place to put it, but I just couldn't get it out of my head, and so we just sort of did it. You can let me know if you think it's cute or not. The bars maybe make more sense if she's like an evil witch. It is Halloween, but you just look at Pearl and I do not believe anyone's gonna think she's evil. So maybe that just helps her get away with her crimes. She could be eating children for all we know, and people just look at her and go, definitely not Pearl. She wouldn't do that. Okay, new canon. Pearl is secretly evil. I can't do anything about it. This is just the way it is now. Honestly, the things I managed to talk myself into in these builds, someone should stop me. But this room down here is pretty simple. We just sort of got a kitchen living room situation. I even remembered to put plants in, which was very exciting for me anyway. Off to the side there with that Nordic, I don't know what it's called, that thing with the flowers as like faux herbs, because again, cooking children, you want them to be seasoned correctly. And of course we have the chemistry set, because I cannot live without the chemistry set. And she has a cauldron, so maybe it's helpful. If not, it looks nice at least, so that's something. And I got to put bug heads on the wall, which was super exciting. I really need to find that wasp head, because it just hasn't showed up for me yet. And I used the Libra scale in place of the other scale, because I thought that it was witchier. And those stupid cupboards with the thing on top. I always think you can put things on top of the thing that we have in front of the bookshelves there. Why can't I put things on top of it? It's so thick, it just looks like things should be able to go on top of it. And so we just end up using those hanging shelves to fill in that space. I'd been so proud of myself, I thought I was being so clever, and then the things didn't go on top, and I was sad. And we're gonna make all the light in the house orange. I'm not entirely sure why I thought that was a good idea, but I do think it looks good. So here we are. We just use the exact same flooring and wallpaper combo as downstairs, and I'm gonna end up making the room 8x6, which breaks my heart a little bit. I still wanted it to be a 6x6. I'm just trying to get that like cluttered witchy look, but practice is the only way to improve, so guess you guys are on this journey with me. Congratulations, it'll be a fun trip. Hopefully, I don't know, I'll have snacks. So we are gonna use those sort of taller brick counters behind the bed, and I end up giving her a double bed, because the space is not as small as it was, and I like this bed better. I do find that managing to get side tables to work is very hard for me. we're gonna end up with just one. It's still gonna be too tall for the bed. Why do they have to be so tall? Why is nothing in scale? I don't know, we've had this discussion. It's okay. It's just the way Animal Crossing is. But I am very happy with the pansy table as the bedside table. Pretty much when it's not going to be the same height anyway, so use whatever the hell you want. And I am also giving her an incredibly small bathroom that contains a bath and a sink. Well, also a shower head. I really wanted to fit the vanity in at the end because I thought it would be a nice transition space from bedroom to bathroom, but it ends up being too thick and I just use a clothes rack instead. Not quite as good, but similar idea. We also add a spinning wheel because that feels super witchy, and this is another one of those things that I can't make look right, so we give up and accept that it's not going to look right and just sort of move on with our lives. I'm gonna put a candle on the stool anyway, so it's not like it's super functional. I mean, it is a candle, you can move a candle, but essentially I just want to have too many things. And also I needed to leave room for plants because plants are important in witchy builds somehow. The walls end up as sort of kind of like a hodgepodge of items, just things that I wanted to put, and so I made them fit, even though they don't fit, like the keys, which we had to put above the mirror. But I am getting a surprising amount of use out of that little girl painting from the carnival build. I'm glad I have her. She's been very helpful. Pretty sure the wedding bouquet does not sort of convey what I wanted it to. You know how people sometimes have those plants in the shower and it just looks kind of cute? That was kind of what we were going for. I don't really think we succeeded, but we left it there anyway. I just used the same lights that we used downstairs, and then I pull out these lanterns because I thought they might be nice, but they don't look the way I wanted them to. So we just sort of pull out the vines and call it a day. Here I am talking about how I want everything to be so cluttered, and I don't put anything on top of the clothing rack. I mean, I managed to forget at least one thing in each build. I end up skipping through most of outside, like the tree placement and the bushes and stuff. Also the gnomes. I've hidden the gnomes. But it felt like having it outside was important, because if I'm calling it a cabin in the woods, I should be calling it a cottage in the woods. That seems more appropriate. I end up calling it like Belladonna Cottage or something, which is kind of dumb and a little bit predictable, but I was running out of time and I didn't have time to think of something better. I don't know that I would have been able to think of something better. But we have indeed made our way to the end of this build, so if you like the build, or if you just had a good time hanging out with me, you could hit the like button, and you could leave me a comment down below. Maybe tell me who your favorite witch or witch-like person is, or literally anything at all. And of course, if you think you might like to do this again sometime, you could hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Goodbye!